let's go to northern Oklahoma, or as some call it, Canada. Let's talk to Matthew. What's up, Matthew?
Hey, Dr. John. How you doing today?
Great. How about you, man?
I'm doing phenomenal. This is unreal. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much, man. What's up? How can I help?
Yeah, guy, let's jump into it. Let's just jump right on into it here. So really, here's the quick setup. I mean, I listen to you almost every day while I'm at work, as well as the Ramsey show, and you've really helped me in a lot of areas of my life. And I see how many people you help. So hey, I thought maybe he can help me too. So
let's bring it on.
Really
Thank you, man. What's up?
You betcha. So my goal really with this call is really just to try and get some answers and solve some of the problems here that I may be facing personally and specifically in my relationship. So I'm looking to solve problems in my relationship. How do I know I'm dating the right person, and how do I bridge this gap between myself and my partner in this relationship?
So what happened that precipitated this call?
So, I mean, here's the setup, right? So I'm 28 years old. My partner's a bit older than me. She's 31. We've been dating on and off here really for the last 6 years. And I've lost track now how many times we've broken up and gone back together. I think it's 3. Fast forwarding to today, we recently bought a house together. We've been living together here for the last 6 months. And really a part of me feels like I'm sometimes just split in two. Sometimes things are really great and I go, wow, this is awesome. I'm really enjoying life and we're out doing stuff and things are a blast. And other times I'm just, I catch myself just thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And I can start, catching myself gearing up to ways to get out of this. And it's really just disorienting me and it's exhausting. And I'm trying to, I really want things to work, I think overall. And it's just, we've been having we'll have dumb arguments really about nothing that I just come home and they'll just leave me wiped out.
So can I ask you some real direct, like just cut to the chase questions?
Let's do it. Absolutely.
If I did this in person, it would feel insulting. So I'm just going to go at it. Okay.
That's fine. Let's jump into it.
Is your girlfriend nuts? And hey, it only works if you tell the truth. When you get home, does she start crap with you and start fights with you and tell you that you're stupid and you're dumb and you don't do this right? Like what's the nature of these fights?
No, I'll tell you. So it's I don't think she's nuts. And really, how do you define nuts anyways?
I've got some pretty clear. I work with Kelly. I know just kidding. Very clear. So, what do you think?
Okay, I wrote down some examples because I figured this was going to come up. So here's an example. Like I've got a great career, doing really well in life, and I'm an athlete. And I'll come home from a busy day at work. And I get home and I'll just want to throw some. I'll throw some clothes on the bedroom floor and then go jump in the shower. And then I'm a guy. Sometimes I forget about them, and then I'll go off and do some other things. Make a smoothie, go outside, sit on my patio. And then it's hey, what, you got to clean these clothes up, do this, or the last fight we just had. I'll give you another example. Is we'll be fighting about a utility bill, for example, and it's like she's like, hey, the bill costs $50 more this month. Why is that? My kind of thought with it is, hey, it's a utility bill. It's just money. It's $50. Like money is not the issue here. It's not a problem. But
so here's the issue. I can tell you right now. Okay, twofold. Yeah. Number one, have you heard me talk about pictures and words here?
Pictures and words?
Have you heard me talk about that on my show?
No.
Okay, the great William Glasser said that he could fix most marriage issues in 1 to 2 sessions. And I rolled my eyes, and he said 99%, I made that number up, a significant percentage of marriage issues is a mismatch between pictures and words. What do I mean? When you and your wife or you and your girlfriend bought this house, you both used the word, let's buy a house together. You both said, let's make a home. And her picture of home is straight out of Pinterest. And she grew up in a house where, and I'm making something up here, so I may be way off, but just go with me, where her mom got beat up for not having a clean house. Or her mom cleaned the house and she saw her dad look at her mom and say, thank you so much for loving me so much. I'm really grateful. Or maybe her dad sucked and threw crap all over the place and she heard her mom whisper, I wish he just showed me enough respect to clean up his stupid underwear. And then that is wrapped into her picture of home. Forget the words, picture. And your picture of home looks like a place where you can, after being on all day, every day, you can just drop your shoulders, throw your stuff on the floor, kick your feet up, because I'm here. You both love each other. You both want to make a great home. You both just have a different picture of what that looks like. And so you find yourself in these weird fights about clothes and about TV channels and about $40 extra on a light bill. It has nothing to do with it at all. It has to do with your wife is desperately trying to create this picture of this home she has in her head and this life she has in her head, and you both are using the same words. The joke I use when I talk about this from stage is my wife comes out and says, hey, let's go on a really hot date this weekend. It's going to be a smoke show. And I start thinking what hotel we're going to end up at in what city and what we're going to be wearing and for how long. And for her, hot date is the burrito barn has tacos for $1 on this Friday night. I love tacos and she likes romantic rendezvous, but both of us end up mad when we finally realize that we're not doing the other thing that the other person thought. Has nothing to do with what we want or what we intention. It has to do with how we discuss what's this world we're creating together. I'm also going to give you this picture, and this is just from the data, okay? It's just from research. This isn't me preaching at you. It's hard to play house and also anchor into a stable relationship that's been off and on for 6 years. And so some of the frenetic energy you feel in the house is a body, your wife's body and your body, trying to regulate the realities of living together, which is hard, and also trying to live together and do hard things without being fully anchored in the ground. Because when you buy a house together, but you're not married, you don't legally bind this thing together. The idea is, but I could leave. But I could leave. And that plays havoc on each other. So I'm going to tell you, my wife and I dated 5 years. We broke up 5 times. Twice it was a forever breakup. And we'll celebrate 21 years this summer of being married. Here's what it came down to. Largely me saying I'm going to go all in. I'm going to choose you as the woman I'm going to commit the rest of my life to. And that choice is going to be every day. And it's not out of a movie. It's not. The Notebook wasn't true. Like Titanic wasn't true. I wish it was, man, but it wasn't. And I'm going to commit to you. And I've almost blown it up a couple of times over 21 years. It's not going to be perfect and it's going to be messy, but I choose you. And that means I'm not going to say stupid stuff like, I'm just a guy, so I don't pick up my underwear. Pick up your underwear. Like the woman you love is saying, hey, this drives me crazy. Pick it up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
And you sitting down and telling her, hey, here's our financial picture. Let's do this together so that if a light bill comes in $40 over, we smile about it. It doesn't wreck our life. I grew up in a home, Matt, that $40, like a $40 bill that came in unexpectedly, took food off our table. Was tragic.
Right.
And so it's extra attuned to that even now. It just kind of wired into me. So my wife has to constantly, John, we have enough. We're good. We're good. We're good. I can look at the numbers. I can see the numbers. I know we're good intellectually. My body still says, that water bill is like whatever it is, right? So I just threw a lot at you. What do you think?
I agree with that. And I like I said, I've heard you say, I'm a longtime listener, and I've heard you say, you got to be all in. And I completely agree with that. I think for any relationship that you do have to be all in. And I think the where I'm running into problem and where I'm running out of steam is when we come home and I've said, sure, yeah, I want this. I want to be all in with you. I'll come home and it'll just be a fight. It'll be something. And then I can feel myself gearing up and I'm going, oh my God. And I'm running out of this steam of just commitment to you because we just have to keep dealing with what keeps going on here. And it's driving me crazy. And I do agree with that. Yeah. I'm happy to clean up the clothes. Yeah. Life is about negotiations and I'm all good with that. And I've been trying to do a better job with that.
But listen, don't negotiate the details yet. Negotiate the pictures. And that starts with this question over a breakfast. And I think at some point, y'all been together 6 years, so I think calling this out. We bought a house together. We are all but married. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and I can't continue to live in a home where there's fights that escalate like these do all the time. And so here's what the question I want to ask you, honey, who I love. What kind of home do we want to build? Because we get to choose that. What do we want our life to look like? And where this is scary is she might say, I want it to look like this, and you know in your soul, I can't do that, or I don't have any interest in that. And I also have friends who dated 5, 6, 7 years that ended up breaking up and marrying other people. That's brutal and it's devastating. It's hard, but it was right. But you can only get there if you're willing to own reality, to choose reality. I love you. We have a home together. We've been together for more than half a decade, and I can't take another month of these fights. Are you willing to build a new life with me? And really, that's you, dude, is being as vulnerable as possible, because she can look at you and say no. And that's scary, right?
Yeah.
It's scary. So let me ask you this. What if I told you just break up with her, dude? Be done. Does that give you peace? Just be done, man. You've put in 6 years. It's not working. Call it.
A part of me, it would, being honest with you.
Yeah.
It would. Because I'd go, wow, finally, I can breathe a little bit here. And another part of me would be absolutely crushed, because I know that I do, how much I love this woman, and how I feel about her.
I think that's the question to explore that you've got to be honest with yourself about.
Right.
I also don't believe, and I know some of the marriage Instagram gurus are going to come out of the woods on me for this, but I don't believe that it's 100. Like, I just knew without a shadow of a doubt. Dude, I don't know a lot of people who had no reservations. I don't know those people. But I know that when it works, it's when people say, despite the reservations, despite the come what may, I'll be right here. The commitment is on me.
Yeah.
And that's scary and hard, man. So are you in or out?
Well, I mean,
are you in or out? In or out? Do it. Say it. Say it.
You gotta make a decision. Yeah, exactly. I want to be in. I want to be in, and I really want to make this work, and I do want this, because I see us building a really great life together.
Okay.
But stuff has to change. That's where I'm at with it.
I love it.
Stuff has to change.
So I want you to write those things down, and I want you to spend as little time on the details as possible. And when you write these down, this is critical for you and anybody listening to this. When you sit down and take her to breakfast, and it's going to be a 2 or 3 hour affair in some little Canadian bistro. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I just made that up. Here's the conversation. It has to be all about you. What do I mean by that? If you sit down and say, I just come home and I drop my clothes, and you're doing this, and you're doing this, and you're doing this, then she's got to go to war with you. But if you sit down and say, I have a picture of my home that is warm and safe, and I'm out at work all the time, and I come home and I just drop my shoulders, and then I feel like I disappoint you, and you get upset that I've left underwear, and I'm tired of feeling like a disappointment in my own home. Or the water bill comes in, it's $40 more expensive than we thought it was going to be. I know how much money we make, you know how much money we make, and I feel like I'm failing you because I haven't provided a safe home for my future wife. Do you see how you aren't attacking? You are saying, here's how I feel. That's
right.
Much more inviting. So I want you to take the time to write down on a piece of paper how you're feeling, which is like, ugh, gross. Take the things that are pissing you off. Take the things that make you mad. And I know there's a list of things that you are courteous enough not to have aired your dirty laundry on a podcast. That's fine. But I want you to be honest about those things, and don't go start throwing darts at this time together. I want you to say, here's how I'm impacted by this. Here's what makes me nervous. Here's what makes me excited about moving forward. Here are some things you do that make the house feel like this. We got to own reality. We got to choose reality and start from there. I actually have some pretty high hopes for this relationship, because I think you love this girl. I think she probably loves you. And I think 6 years is a long time to put two people in a cage and be like, make good choices, without you start just gnawing each other's tail off. Have this conversation. Hey, please do me a huge favor. I'm kind of invested in this now. Reach out and let me know how that breakfast goes, how that time together goes. I want to hear how it goes. And we'll be rooting for you every step of the way, my brother.